Peace Collective. This light is bright as hell. Oops, I didn't mean to change it. Oop. Alright. My bad, y'all. Peace Collective. This isn't a reading, although I might pull some cards. I'm gonna see if anybody taps into here. I figured I'd go live with some spiritual messages and conversations, especially since I'm day 2 of my detox and I have nothing but energy. Trying not to impulsively post on social media because my ass have just been making posts back to back to back. I know I look like shit. I don't look like shit, but I definitely got bags under my eyes. I still don't have my nails done, still no makeup. Going through this season of transformation before I pop back out in my rebirth. Coincidentally, and I should have put this in the description, but today is actually 5/25/25. So today's actually a portal day. We got a new moon tomorrow, and we just have a lot of different energy shifts. So I figured, why not just go live? I'm hoping I have some people, even though I don't have my glasses, but some of the conversations that I'm bringing up, these aren't conversations that... The topics that I'm going to be bringing up in this live, these topics aren't me saying I'm 100% accurate, right, and you have to agree with me. I just wanted to give some insight in my point of view when it comes to spirituality. I've been spiritual. No, I've been woke since 18, but I've been spiritual since probably about 21, 22 years old. Woke and spiritual is not the same thing. I was like pro-black activist type shit. Spirituality is when I tapped into my divine gifts and things like that. I am now 29. I'll be 30 this year, which is still so freaking crazy. I can't wait. I thought I was going to dread turning 30, but no. I think this is like, I don't know. I'll say that for another lie. I don't know who is that that's texting me. Anyways, what I was about to say is I hope the person, I can't even think of her name right now. She's actually a loyal follower of mine. I love her. I hope she taps into this live because she has some really good points of views when we were doing the debate. And when it comes to debating, again, I'm not insecure when it comes to debating. I like to hear other people's point of view. The topic I really wanted to talk about was schizophrenia. Not just schizophrenia, there's other things that I'm going to be talking about as well as the portal day and the new moon that's tomorrow. But with schizophrenia, there's a lot of, I wouldn't even say misconceptions because everybody has their own personal beliefs. And it's kind of like the God, divine, most high, also you being God, Jesus. Everybody has their own opinions, thoughts, and beliefs on it. Me, I am all about, how should I word it? When it comes to mental illness, mental health, and spirituality, I'm all about what is best for humans. Regardless of truth, regardless of facts, I am very relatable. And that's why in my lives and my readings, I do not discriminate against people's beliefs, thoughts, opinions, or anything like that. Only reason I say that is because when I look at schizophrenia, me personally, I do feel like schizophrenia can be a spiritual gift. But at the same time, telling people that and going along with that narrative is actually very dangerous to people's lives and futures. I actually have experienced several clients throughout these last 7-8 years of me being a reader and them just having the symptoms of severe mental illness, severe mental health. Now, I'm a magical person. I do magic. I perform readings. I have a very strong intuition. Intuition and readings not my only spiritual gifts. I am a seer. I can see things. I am a hearer. I can hear things. Things that will sound like schizophrenia, right? But here's where the line between mental illness and spirituality comes in at, and the reason why self-awareness is important. Telling people schizophrenia is a spiritual gift is a very irresponsible and dangerous thing to tell somebody, for one. The only way, I wrote notes too, but I'm not even reading it. The only way someone with a severe mental illness like schizophrenia is able to tap into their spiritual gifts is if they have self-awareness. That's why the journey when it comes to spirituality always starts with self-awareness and self-mastery. For the last 7-8 years, I practice, I preach, and I literally force feed my clients to embody the self-awareness journey, because during the self-awareness journey, this is when you're going to be able to identify yourself. So when we talk about mental illness, keep in mind, I want everybody to know this. When I was 13 years old, I was diagnosed with manic bipolars and traits of schizophrenia. They said I had traits because I was too young to be diagnosed with it. When I was 13 years old, I was making a lot of predictions that my dad and my grandma couldn't make sense of. And they wanted to shut me up. I was on Abilify. I was taking medicine and everything at 13 years old. And that medicine caused me to self-harm from 11 to 22. Stop taking mental health medicine and never even... Anyways, getting off topic, the only reason I'm saying that is because I, in fact, have been diagnosed with a mental illness when I was a teenager. So I think I have the right to kind of speak on this topic, especially since I've been studying mental health for the last 2 years. Now, going back to schizophrenia being a spiritual gift, intuition, or they could hear, see, whatever this case is, understand... Many are called upon, but few are chosen, just like the post that I made. And what I mean by that is, although someone can have things that may appear to be spiritual gifts, if they are not in alignment with self-awareness and on a journey to feed into those gifts and self-awareness and self-mastery, that schizophrenia is going to be let me get my words together. Telling someone who has severe mental health problems, telling someone who has a mental illness that schizophrenia is a spiritual gift is highly irresponsible for the simple fact that you don't know that person's mindset. Like they say autism is a spectrum, you could consider schizophrenia and mental illness a spectrum as well. And just like I said in my comment and in my post that I made, everybody cannot handle spirituality. Everybody can't handle readings. Everybody should not get readings. I defer clients all the time. Some people's mental health is not in alignment for them to be able to accept the reading because they will take that reading, twist it up into the way they want to hear it, and allow it to feed their illusions. This live is not going how I wanted to because I'm not even reading my post. But again, y'all, I am fasting day 2. I am no smoking. I am just raw and sober. So my mind is everywhere right now. But more of what I'm trying to say is, whether schizophrenia was a spiritual gift or not does not mean that we should be feeding the collective that. And when I say we, I am talking about spiritual beings who are on a higher frequency, like me. Like the saying goes, with great power comes great responsibility. Me as a reader, if I sat here and I told every schizophrenia person that I came across that they have spiritual gifts, I am putting them at risk for suicide in the future. Schizophrenia and bipolar is the number 2 mental illnesses that lead to suicide. Why would I sit here and go with a narrative when I know for a fact, whether it's true or not, about gifts, when I know for a fact most of these people aren't doing their due diligence in spirituality, most of these people aren't doing their research, most of these people aren't walking the journey of self-awareness. Why the fuck would I tell someone with schizophrenia has a gift? I'm not. Why? Because I have integrity. And that integrity is the reason I'm not rich. You know how easy it is to lie to you motherfuckers? But I'm not. Only reason I'm saying it like that is because, again, with schizophrenia, it comes with symptoms of hallucination, delusion, hearing voices, seeing things that aren't there. Again, dating somebody with schizophrenia or even borderline personality disorder is a very big risk and could turn into a fatal attraction. Again, we are talking about severe mental illnesses. We're not talking about ADHD. We're not talking about ADD. I don't know what else is lower than ADHD. We're talking about a very severe mental illness that literally gets worse with age. The older you get, the worse the mental illness becomes. Some of these people, and again, I'm not knocking nobody's point of view. Again, with astral projection, intuition, everybody knows schizophrenia. There's a thin veil between the spiritual and the physical, and they're able to tap into things we can't see or hear or touch or feel. Okay, cool. But even if that was 100% factual, with the lack of self-awareness, because you have to have self-awareness that you have a mental illness, you cannot change or even control what you don't acknowledge. If you don't acknowledge it, then it controls you. With lack of self-awareness, and lack of control to tame your spiritual gifts, it does not matter if that shit is real or not. Because at the end of the day, we have more people in the spiritual community suffering from schizophrenia than anything at this point in time. I've been spiritual since my early 20s. I am now in my late 20s. And I see it on a daily basis that these people are losing their rabbit ass mind behind spirituality. And they're using spirituality as an excuse or to enable them to feed into some type of mental illness they don't want to take accountability for. I don't know. Maybe I'm butchering my words. Of course, this is no discrimination against people who have mental illnesses. The thing about it is, and I feel like I'm sounding repetitive at this point in time, but I'm going to say it one more time. If someone does have schizophrenic, and they are self-aware, I mean really self-aware, and they are on the journey to self-mastery, then yes, that person can be able to use those spiritual gifts, be able to use their mental illness to enhance their spiritual gifts. But that requires a journey that a lot of people don't want to walk. I'll be trying to get stamps at the end of the month, knowing damn well everybody tapped out. My bad, y'all. I just got a comment. Look like I'm spending cash. Anyways, not moving on from that. Again, I sound like I'm talking repetitively. Please excuse me for that, y'all. I'm not in my normal energy as I'm continuing to detox. But I really wanted to talk about this because solutions. I don't know. I'm a solution-oriented person, and when I was having that debate on my post, I had made a very good comment, y'all. I had so many points and everything, and then I received a phone call. As soon as I got off the phone call, my Facebook refreshed and deleted my whole fucking comment. So I'm not even saying everything I was saying earlier, but I do want to have an example when it comes to the difference between somebody who has schizophrenia and they're not self-aware and someone who has schizophrenia and they are self-aware. In my hometown, I don't know if this happened last year or 2 years ago. The years be merging, y'all. But in my hometown, I remember there was this girl. She clearly suffers from severe schizophrenia, and she was making post on social media about how she was being gang stalked, how the government is after her because she reveals truth and this, that, and the other. And I dissected this girl's social media. I went back years on this girl's social media, and she's never really exposed truth or anything like that. The thing that caught my eye the most is that she kept saying that, and again, it's a thin line because what I'm about to say is going to sound common, but you're going to hear the difference. But she just kept saying that, she was an anointed being and the ancestors are giving her these messages that they're gang stalking her and these people are after her. There is a video, and if you're in my hometown, you probably seen the video, but there is a video one time of this girl being in traffic, and she literally gets out her whole car, starts recording and saying, all these people are following me, they're a part of the government, I'm being gang stalked, and these are like regular civilians. The video had like 15,000 views, over 100 different comments. Like, that's the only reason I even came across this girl page was because of that video. And she was suffering from severe schizophrenia. She was not being gang stalked. And whatever truths that she revealed, that's just the go-to. I don't know how to explain, but that's just literally the go-to. What I mean by the go-to is when people ask, well, why would anybody follow you? That's what they would say. Why is everybody blowing me up as soon as I go live? Knowing I'm struggling like a motherfucker to get this live out. I'm not struggling, y'all. My mind is just everywhere. I'm still detoxing. And I got so much energy. And my son spent the extra night over his grandma. So this is like an extra day for me. And I just don't know what to do with my energy. Anyways, I love my clients, y'all. My clients are my friends. Anyways, going back to what I was saying, this fucking live is butchered. I'm probably not even going to keep it up because I feel like I sound repetitive and I feel like I'm not completely balanced to be even going live right now. I still got a few more days of detoxing so I can have some life brought back into my face and get these fucking bags going. Anyways, to continue on about schizophrenia, a long time ago, or back in the days, ancient days, whatever, they used to consider schizophrenia as a possession, as like, you know, the exorcisms and things like that, where malevolent spirits, demonic demons attach themselves and they start to control one's thoughts, actions, behaviors, and pretty much take over the pretty much they believe that schizophrenia is when the demons or the malevolent entities take over the soul and they rule the vessel, and it's all this spiritual stuff. Only reason I'm bringing that up is because even with people suggesting that spirituality, even if people suggest that schizophrenia was some type of spiritual gift, even in ancient days, schizophrenia has never been looked good. And what I mean by that is, even if schizophrenia, which again, I know it is, but it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Some people need to understand that sometimes facts don't matter. But even with schizophrenia being a part of spirituality, back in the day, they looked at that shit as a demonic possession and exorcism. This is shit you could literally look up. People who had children and adults and wives and husbands who later on had schizophrenic, they used to do exorcisms on. They used to get a priest to pray over them and shit like that, because they would have demonic beings talking out of them. Now, the difference from back in the day and today, I don't know if it still goes on, is that back in the day, when the demons would possess the body, they would actually have a demon voice. They would actually have a high-pitched voice. They would have a super dark devil-sounding voice. They was able to have these different voices come out their vessel because they were under possession. And that was considered schizophrenia back in the day. So the only reason I'm continuing to talk, and even though it's not coming out as fluent as it usually does, because I'm just not where I want to be right now energetically, the more what I'm trying to say is that if you are a high-ranking spiritual being, if you are a reader, if you are someone who does give out advice, if you are someone who does study spirituality, astrology, spiritual gifts, and things like that, then you have to look at the bigger picture. So many people are gung-ho on spreading truth, and I'm a truth speaker. Y'all know I'm a truth speaker. I've been a truth speaker for years. But the thing is, everyone can't handle the truth. And I know that sounds crazy, but like I started this live off with great power comes great responsibility. I have hundreds of clients. I have given out thousands of readings. I have met thousands of people in jail, in the homeless shelters, in my community, on social media, in different states. I've met and talked to so many different characters, drug addicts, mental illness. I've never discriminated or disregard a conversation just because of how someone looks or how they hold themselves. I'm always open to learning. I'm saying that is because throughout all these people I've experienced during my spiritual journey and have given readings to, have given life coach sessions to, I am telling you, and I know this shit sounds so crazy, but maybe, just maybe, if a few more other spiritualists understood this, we could kind of eliminate the schizophrenia in the community. It won't be eliminated, but we can at least lower it. The point I'm getting at and how I'm about to end this topic is, everybody can't handle the fucking truth, okay? Everybody can't handle a reading. Everybody can't handle the fact that Jesus isn't real, okay? For some people who don't believe it. And I know y'all hear me talk about God and the devil all the time. Listen, I don't really put my practice out here. I'm more so like an ominous. I believe in low and high vibration. I believe that we are God in our own rights, but I also believe in the divine spirit as well. More of what I'm trying to say is, as a spiritualist, as someone who studies or who is intelligent, telling people or going with the narrative that schizophrenia is a spiritual gift is you almost are putting that person at risk of destroying their future. You're putting that person at risk of not receiving the proper help that they need. If they are not a self-aware schizophrenic on a journey towards self-mastery, then you do not need to tell them that their schizophrenic is a spiritual gift, because that's how people end up under the bridge homeless. Everybody loves to talk about all those homeless people under the bridge, or these people who outside, they choose to be outside. They're so smart, they're so spiritual. Yes, they are, but do you really think in their right state of mind they want to be there? No, they don't. So therefore, everybody can't handle the truth. Everybody can't handle spirituality. Everybody can't handle this shit. Some people need to go to church. Some people need a physical God to look at. Some people need Jesus. Some people need that shit, and it doesn't make it wrong. Does it go against facts? Possibly. But your moral compass and integrity should allow you to have the discernment to know, if I gives this person this kind of information, how the fuck would they turn out in the future? It's no different than this twin flame bullshit. I've been saying the same shit since I was young. Do I believe in twin flames? Yeah. I believe in soulmates. I believe in karmatic partners. I believe in counterparts. I believe in all of that. Do I believe half these people who claim they met their soulmate, met their twin flame, actually met their twin flame? No. A lot of these people are calling trauma bonds twin flames because of how intense the emotion is. But when you're in a trauma bond, you're talking about runner-chaser dynamics. We're talking about psychological, mental, emotional, verbal, and physical abuse. So with the heightened emotions and you struggling to pull away, this is when you guys are when the collective needs to start to find a balance between physical and the spiritual. Too much logical and spiritual. Too much spirituality without logic leads you to becoming delusional. Too much logic without spirituality leads you to become hopeless. You need to have both hand in hand, the right amount of spirituality and the right amount of logic to maneuver on this planet, because y'all, we are not in the spirit realm. We are on earth. Every day we can talk about the spirit realm. Every day we could talk about astral projection. Every day we could talk about our spiritual experiences. But at the end of the day, we're having these conversations on earth. So you need logic. So it's not about a debate of whether schizophrenia is a spiritual gift or not. It's whether the people you're talking to are able to handle that kind of information. And then what are they going to do with that information? Again, everybody cannot handle the truth. And that's the reality of the real world. It just is. I got off topic. But going back to my clients and like the twin flames, I don't really get a lot of clients like that anymore because I'm ruthless. I'm not ruthless, but I am. I'm ruthless with my truth. I love you more than you love yourself. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not. I'm a Libra. Okay, I'm a Libra 3 times. I'm a Libra Sun, Libra Mercury, and a Libra North Node with a Pisces rising. I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit. So when I have clients messaging me, telling me, oh, my twin flame this, my twin flame that, and when I do the reading and I'm looking dead at it and it says this is not a twin flame, it's not your fucking twin flame. Get the fuck out that trauma bond and boss up. People confuse trauma bonds with twin flames. Just like people think everybody with schizophrenia have these super magical powers. But how worthy are these powers if they don't have the strength, discernment, or the discipline to control and tame them on earth? It's just logic. You have to have logic with spirituality. You have to. I don't care about right and wrong. That's the thing about life. Life is not a one-size-fits-all. What may heal me may hinder you. What may heal you may hinder them. So, great power comes great responsibility. When you have a heightened intuition, when you have the gift of gab, when you have an energy that can influence people, you have to be mindful of what you're influencing in these people. Because sometimes some of the information that could be factual that you're giving people may not resonate with them still. Because they're not on that journey. Just because we're on the same planet does not mean we're experiencing the same world. There are people who are having life experiences that you will never have. There are life experiences that you have that these people will never experience. Why? Because we all are on our own world. We just share a planet. We have our own ancestors, okay? Some people could say there's one God. Some people believe we're God. Some people believe everybody got their own individual God. But if you believe in spirituality and you are on the path of breaking generational curses, then you have to understand spirituality is custom made. It's custom made around your lineage. It's custom made around your parents and grandparents. It's custom made around your generational curses. I'm quitting weed because it kills the fuck out my energy. But the next chick smokes it because it actually heals her. We are not experiencing the same world. So no, when it comes to mental illness and spirituality, you have to be mindful of what you're telling these people. Because these people will take it, run from it, run with it, and ruin their fucking lives. Telling somebody, oh, that man who remarried, had new kids, and hasn't contacted you in 5 years is your twin flame? What are we doing? And what are we listening to? When are we going to address the delusions and schizophrenia in the spiritual community? And when is those who have some form of position of power going to start to have integrity? Or am I the only fucking one? I'm not. I'm absolutely not. Anyways, I'm just rambling at this point. More of what I'm trying to... I need to stop sitting like a nigga. More of what I'm trying to say is... y'all need to be mindful. Facts is facts. And that's no doubt. But everybody can't handle the truth. And that's just the reality of it. Everybody can't handle spirituality. Everybody can't handle readings. Everybody can't play with magic. Everybody can't do that shit because of their mental health. Because of their generational curses. Because of whoever they pray to. What may heal you may hinder them. The truth may have set you free, but it may put somebody else in a box. And that's why when I have my clients and I do my life coach sessions, I make sure with the best of my ability that I always stand on integrity. And I'm not telling nobody anything that's going to ruin their fucking life. Even if I deem it to be facts. Again, I don't discriminate. I have clients, and guess what? Those clients need Jesus. They do. Let me sit here and discredit Jesus and do this and show them that and just do all that. And then once they get this truth, then they're fucking lost and they have nobody else to pray to. And Jesus was the only thing that was keeping them from not killing themselves. I'm not going to do that. High frequency speaks in every language, and placebo effect is more realer than anything else. So because of that fact alone, I'm going to handle every person I come across case by case. Everybody does not get the same me because everybody is not the same. Everybody doesn't get the same advice unless it's advice about self-esteem, self-love, and things like that I talk about on live. But those who get life coach sessions from me, my clients know I don't play that shit. Anything that I ever tell you is always going to be for the greater good and the best for your future. And if I believe that you believing in Jesus is what's best for your future, then I'm going to leave you alone and let you believe in that. If you want to be an atheist and that's what's best for your future, then I'm going to leave you alone and let you go with that. Universe, it does not matter. I do not discriminate. I did all that intense research in my early 20s. I did all of that, breaking the codes and the letter J. I did all of that in my early 20s. I used to convert people and I used to be real aggressive and nasty with it. I'm not going to lie. I'm not doing that no more. Because at this point in time, especially with us about to be in the process of New World, we're not in the process. We're in the midst of New World Order. A new world conducted in a different order. Now it's not the time for people to be losing their faith, regardless of what they have faith in. Why? Because of the future. So when I do shit, I look at shit as the bigger picture. It's not about ego. It's not about being right. It's not about facts. It's about these people's futures. And since I guess so many people put so much trust into me, I take that trust serious. And since I take that trust serious, I make sure I would never lead anybody into destruction. Ever. Ever. Even if it goes against my pride and ego. I'm a Libra. I need to stop saying that. I know some faulty ass Libras, man. Can't trust them with shit, and they're compulsive liars. So I need to stop saying I'm a Libra, but I am a Libra. And that's just the truth of it. So when we talk about spirituality as a community, if we really want a community, if we really want a soul tribe, if we really want a village, then we're going to have to meet people where they're at. It's not about converting people, okay? It's not. High frequency speaks in every language, and when we die, we all go into the same fucking place. In my opinion, it's the afterlife, heaven, hell, whatever you want to fucking call it. But I believe in the afterlife. Heaven is a state of mind and something you have to cultivate before you transition. Sometimes, unless you still had your innocent soul before you died. That's just my point of view. That's literally my point of view. That does not make it accurate. That does not make it facts. Just like everything I've said on this live right now. It doesn't, it's not like I'm saying what I'm saying is fact or accurate, but also tell me one thing that I've said wrong. Everything I do with integrity. So when I talk about mental health, mental illness, I'm not really going to break down schizophrenia being a spiritual gift to someone who suffers from severe schizophrenia and has no desire to walk a path of self-mastery. You have to walk the path of self-awareness and self-mastery. I was diagnosed with manic bipolar when I was 13 years old. I feel like it was a misdiagnosis. Sometimes I believe I'm fucking autistic. Sometimes, shit, I don't know what the fuck wrong with me. I just know something wrong with me. And honestly, it could just be trauma. I've experienced a very graphic ass childhood. So I don't discriminate against mental health, but I'm also spiritual. I also cast spells. I pray. I manifest. I read cards. I'm literally a reader. I literally hear and see shit through readings. I'm not discrediting mental health not being spiritual gifts. What I'm saying is if you are not on a journey to self-awareness, to self-mastery, that mental illness will be your demise in your late 30s and early 40s. The thing about mental health and mental illness, if you are not changing for the better, you're staying the same to become worse. Yes, it becomes worse. I don't know. I just feel like this was my point of view. I wanted Homegirl to tap in here so we could actually, continue our conversation. But I know this life was random as fuck. I am still detoxing, y'all. I'm surprised. My circles under my eyes aren't darker than this. Shit, man. I'm actually hungry as fuck right now, but I'm going to be eating an apple. I need to stop cussing. I seen a video the other day, and it was this girl cussing. And this other girl was like, that's just so dusty and low class. And I fell victim to that. Like, shit, I'm dusty and low class. I'm not, but I don't want to cuss. I don't want to be like, the way I cuss is just so disgusting. It just flows out. It's fluent. I don't know. But anyways, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about when it comes to spirituality and mental health and the thin line between it. I think I said it already 3 times, but I think I'm going to say it one more time before getting off here. Regardless of facts, everybody can't handle the truth. Some people need Jesus. You need to be mindful of what you tell somebody who has a mental health problem. Because again, schizophrenia is not like ADHD. It's not like some lower level mental illness. Schizophrenia literally gets worse over time. And that's how people end up having intense drug addictions. That's how people end up living under the bridge because they are undiagnosed. And when you tell somebody that their mental illness is a gift, then they take it upon themselves not to get diagnosed. And then they think everything they see or hear or experience is a spiritual experience when sometimes it genuinely is hallucinations. And this is coming from a reader. So I don't know. I hope I don't offend nobody with this live because a lot of people are very headstrong about their own opinions. And some people believe, regardless of human compassion and being mindful of people's futures, we should still force feed them the truth. And I'm not force feeding nobody the truth if the truth is just going to destroy them. Now, when we talk about truth of friendships, relationships, your own behavioral patterns and things like that, I'm brutal with the truth. I'm brutal with the truth. But when we talk about spirituality, we talk about God, we talk about the devil, we talk about mental illness, we talk about that shit, I'm very careful of who I'm talking to. Because I know whatever I'm going to say, they're going to take it and they're going to run with it for the next years, if not the rest of their fucking life. And my small statement of whatever it is they're going through can literally make or break that person's future. And if you have compassion and integrity, then you will understand where I'm coming from, where I say facts don't matter. Everybody can't handle the truth. Everybody shouldn't be spiritual. Trust me, this shit is brutal. It is, but I fucking love it. Spirituality chose me. I didn't have a choice. But anyways, this concludes my little rant, I guess. This is all I'm going to talk about. I do plan to go live maybe tomorrow. I don't know, y'all. Because tomorrow is going to be, what, day fucking 3? I don't know how long I'm going to do this fast. I think I'm quitting weed forever. I know that's crazy. I say it every couple of months, like, bitch, you didn't quit 52 times, so. And I'm going to quit 52 more times. Shit, I don't give a fuck. I quit drinking alcohol 100 different times before I officially quit. And now I haven't had a drink in over 150 days, and I never will again. So, if I gotta quit and relapse a couple more fucking times before I reach my permanent quit, then so fucking be it. At least I'm real about it. But I think I really am about to quit smoking forever, because this last little detox of not smoking, I've been getting so many channel downloads. I've just been so fucking talkative. It's like I'm waking up from the dead. Anyways, I'm about to go, I guess, find something to do with the rest of my evening sober. But until next time, guys, tap in tomorrow, because I'm definitely going live for the new moon. We do have, I think the new moon is, is it a new moon in Gemini? What sign comes after Gemini? I'm not even going to hurt my brain like that. I think it's Cancer. Maybe. I don't know. The moon's either going to be in Gemini or Cancer. I don't remember right now. But this concludes the live, y'all. Please like, share, comment, and until next time, guys, peace. I probably am gonna tap back in here when it comes to the comments, just in case I put some more shit in here that I forgot to say in this live. But yeah, peace.